Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to Play by Email 2, turn 8 and 9. So let's start off with turn 8 that I already played. Okay, fish. Pretty nice fish, and if I believe correctly, I moved the scout exactly in here and I've just met the barbarian camp. So again, nothing too special except this fish. This fish is pretty nice. Will actually give me a chance to plan a city in here, but let's go to turn number 9. Maybe something else will actually. Okay, and here we are, turn 9. Let's continue with the scouting. Not much, only a hill in here. I don't see too much fish actually. Maybe there's one. I need to get to this hill, I believe. Yeah, I need to get to this hill at some point with the scout, and I need to know if there's fish, for example, here or here. Well, anywhere in here actually. Do I want to plant the city here, here, or here? I do want to have the mountain in my second city, no doubt about it. The only question is to have as much food as possible. So let's say go here next move and possibly to the east first. And let's see about the scout. Okay, I actually want to see the coast, and let's go in here. Not too much seen, especially no unique luxuries. And the city micromanagement. It's actually looking fine. I was thinking I should probably buy the bananas. What don't you think? Like, buy bananas, get triple 6 food, then possibly work the stone, and still grow, and then work the hill, or just grow those two and work the hill first before my natural boars actually go in here, and then probably chop a jungle 1 or 2, or well, I guess I'm gonna think about it later on. Okay, one more thing right now is we've got Chronicle. I mean, like, Chronicle is mandatory in this this particular game. So I would like you, to invite you to the Chronicle. So here's the thread with the Chronicle. I'm going to loosely translate this quickly, and what's actually obligatory in the Chronicles. So in the Chronicle we've got the introduction, initial introduction, planning cities, building wonders, declaring war, and making religion stuff. So those are the things that are mandatory to put into Chronicles. So we're missing introduction and planning a city, which I already done. So I invite you to maybe figure out a little bit of a history. So let me read you what's actually written in the Chronicle right now. So we've got Itkovian. Itkovian writes, survivors from the flooded Atlantis has reached an unknown beach. They made a camp and fell into a deep sleep. In the morning, scouts seen some animals, but sadly there were some predators as well. One of not many of the surviving guardsmen of the ruler of the Atlantis, Montezuma, has killed a jaguar with an obsidian sword. And then, from his bones, from the bones of the jaguar, he made a beautiful helmet. For his deed, he was called by the rest of the survivors a guide, and the new ruler of Atlantis people, who now, by the deed of their new ruler, has started to call themselves Jaguars, which means Aztecs. The first decision of Montezuma was that those plains are not suited for a city, so they moved to a nearby hill where there is much safer, which is much safer place. So this is the kind of introduction we are interested in. So we know Itkovian is playing Aztecs, we know he's probably on coast, and we know he moved from plains to a hill with his initial capital. Let's go. Next one. Yarek. Oh Manitou, how my head hurts. Those pale faces, those white faces, and their damn fire water. But what to the pony is going on? How in world I landed in this place? I knew to not drink with those with those dogs? The witch said that. Well, it's good that I'm not alone. Let's try to send the world a message that Shoshons are not nutshells. Let me translate this just quickly. Yeah, let's try to translate this. Cones. That we're not cones. That we're not cones, but we are a tough nation with a very weak head. Postscriptum. Why? In my head there's a thought about some Dorothy and Oz. Okay, there's probably he's being Dorothy and the witch and the Wizard of Oz. So he probably thinks that he's like a modern guy moved to a safe ancient world. Well, the first thing that we need to do in this world is not to drink anymore. That's a good advice. Let others murder themselves. So there's another information. The start of money too. It's probably playing the Shoshons, right? Yeah. Okay, next message from Itkavian. People Jaguars, according to the will of Montezuma, has founded their capital Tenochtitlan, which means the city on a hill. Next one, from Memic, our people journeyed and journeyed and journeyed, and one day they had enough. Our great leader and shaman in one, the great Enrico from the family Dandol, son of God's Dagma, okay, from the land of Venice, has looked at this land and said, the word starting with F, fuck, amazing place to settle and live in peace and happiness. Nobody knows what the first word meant. Our scientists still haven't found their meaning, but they think it's some sort of a shaman spell. Right, next one, from Chaiman, Zulus. Our ancestors said that they came from great water. They started to travel from the lack of food. There was much less fish, and there was much harder to catch something. There were more people, so they risked. They went on the road. In time, they divided. They joined. Years passed, hundreds of years. Nobody knows how much time passed. They seen deserts, they seen great jungles, forests, and plains. In time, there was more and more of them, and the journey was getting harder and harder. So they started to think about settling down. Instead of searching food, and they started to search for a place they could call home. And so they traveled. In time, they traveled less. They stayed in one place for a year, 2, and sometimes even 10. Every time something happened that forced them to move along again. Once there was lack of water. Some other time there was too much water. Some other there was some forest fire. At the end, they hit a great water. So the history turned a full circle. They stayed to try it out. A year passed, then next and next. Nothing wrong happened. The land was easy to grow plants on. There was fish, cows, rivers. After several next years, they called this place home, and themselves Zulus. Pretty romantic start. So we know he's on the river, on a coast, with fish, cows, and a river. Not a pretty good spot, to be honest. Alright. Next one, from Mayonnaise. Behind the forest, the lakes, and hills, there lived a queen. Someday, she went on a balcony and said, "Fuck." Oh man, I got so far everywhere. I need to find some neighbors as soon as possible and build a city, because I'm gonna die of bossing. I'm gonna send some scouts. Maybe they will find some wonders where I can spend my weekends on. So probably Mayonnaise is playing Spain, if I remember correctly. So he founded a city, definitely. And he sent scouts to search for wonders, which is pretty obvious with playing Spain. Alright, so that's it for those 2 turns. I invite you to read the Chronicle, put it into Google Translate. Probably the translation will be a little bit better if you want to follow it up. And I invite you to make a name of the city, make the name of the leader, and put out an initial history of our civ, basically. I really invite you to do it. If you do not want to do it, I'll probably make myself something up. But I think a couple of more turns I can wait. So if you have some cool ideas, just give it a try, post it out, and like or dislike if you like some other's idea or not. Alright, that's it for this Play by Email. So thank you very much for watching. Best wishes. Yoruus out.